Hello guys, this is DC Trader for another market update, and sorry guys for how many days I wasn't able to do any reviews because I was busy doing something else. But today I think I did that the market didn't really change a lot. But first of all, the one thing that really changed a lot is the US market, guys. Take a look at this, guys. So far, when I left you guys here, we were here. The market tried to go up, could not even make an all-time high, could not even break these two swings, and now it's bringing back down low. So one of the most important areas for this particular market is 3,656 area. Now, if we break that area, then something has really changed the US market right now. And if you make this one bigger, guys, it looks to me like look like we're topping out, and looks like we are trying to do a sort of like a downtrend going back to this area here. And we know that this area used to be a resistance, turned into support, and now we need to test this back. So what will happen to this particular area? All right. So now, if we take a look at the 5 minutes for the past couple of days here, take a look at that. Yesterday, it's up, very strong down area, and right now we have not even come up to this area here of 3,776 area, and now we're going back down. Not so great here for our US market. Okay, so let's take a look at our markets, guys. And our markets, guys, if we take a look at it, for the past couple of days, we have come up, and this has been a support for our market, which is quite different from the US market. It really dropped ours, and ours is trying to go back, trying to have a support around 6,000. What's this area here? Around 6,824. And then trying to push up here around this particular area here. So this seems to be a little bit better looking stock here. So let's take a look at it. So now let's take a look at the 5 minutes here in this part in our index. As you can see here, when I left you guys here last week, we see here that the market was here, and the next trading day it continued this bull micro, and then of course on a Wednesday it tried to drop back down, tried to go up, and now for the past couple of days it's trying to go back down, and it's trying to go back up. So we are on another range here. But as I told you guys, that the area, our target here after this particular area was this area, and we were spot on, guys. We were spot on here, and then we did hit this area. Now this is becoming our resistance, guys. I hope that we can break out of 6,904 next week. If we can do that, break out, support, then our next target would be around 7,017, this particular area. And of course, our main target is to be above 7,161. This is our main goal, guys. All right. So that is for this particular market. Now let's take a look at the next market. It's AC Energy. And of course, AC Energy, guys, when I left you guys off, we were around this particular area. We were up, but we were back into where we left off last week. So which means that this particular area of 705, 706 has become a support. Now, of course, break one, first entry, second entry, and we did not break out. We did not break fall, so we are kind of stuck in this particular area, hoping that we can go back up to 825, right? Now let's take a look at it on a 5 minutes. On a 5 minutes, if we take a look at it, basically we are still on this bear micro going back down. Although we went up, but for the past 2 days, actually 3 days, we have not yet come back to 735, and we also did not go back to 7 peso. So basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna make a mark at that particular area. Whichever go first, if this goes first, then it is a continuation of this bear micro. If this hits this first, then it is this has become a bull micro. Target is around this particular area, hoping that we can go back to around this particular area, then this area. All right. Now, even if you do a Fibonacci from this small area here, you will notice that 78.6. See? Then you will notice that most of the market, when it becomes a range, normally these two really is important. It could be bouncing here for a while until it makes a big move. All right. That is for AC Energy, and the next particular stock that we're going to be discussing is Ali. Now for Ali, let's take a look at the dailies for Ali. And Ali, on my area here, when I left you guys off, we were on this very big bull candle, and today we're just going back to where we started, around this particular area, or even lower, right? First entry, second entry, it dropped a bit but did not break this particular area. Tried to push up twice, could not do it. Now it's going back down. All right, now the thing that is kind of worrying for Ali, looks like a down channel is forming. If we go back to AC Energy, yes, it looks to me like it's kind of like that too, right? It looks like this. And if we copy and paste it, it looks like this area here, right? But of course, this could be a flag too, wherein the market goes back, and suddenly break out, right? It could do two things, or it could break down. So basically, in other words, we cannot really determine exactly what's the market going to do. But basing on this, as long as we don't break down to 36.85, we still have a better chance of going back up. And if we take a look at it on the 5 minutes, yes, we did reach our target. Why is this important? 39.80. It's because this was the last bull bear connection, right? And then of course, today, actually on March 1, we did break there, touch it, but the problem is there's no continuation of this bull micro, and then the following few days is a bear micro. Now, of course, if I put this on a Fibonacci, guys, take a look at that, guys. 78.6 again, hitting down. See, take a look at this. See, these traders really are following this fib very carefully. This area. So basically, we are on a kind of a range, right? Looking at that. Now, as long as, now let's really take a look at it on the week after or next week. If we can break out of this particular, looks to me like a mini range. just like this. Mini range, breakdown. Try to retest this mini range, breakdown. So this particular area could be an important area. This is a break or make here for Alpha. The next particular stock is BDO. Now BDO, yes, last week I was telling you guys that MBT is better than BDO or SECB, but in other words, this week, just this week alone, BDO seems a little bit better. So I'll take back what I say about BDO. BDO said that, oh, okay, you said I'm not doing that well, so it did a little bit better. But take a look at this, guys. First entry, second entry, first entry, second entry. So it's kind of stuck again. We are stuck in here. Now, the good thing about that today, guys, is we are trying to retest 1350. Now, if we can break out of 1350, that would be great. Now, of course, last week when I left you guys here, we were here breaking out. Now, we did have a continuation on March 1. We did have a small bear micro, but our next challenge here, guys, is really this particular area of 1350. We already break this particular area because, yes, last week over here, we need to go above 108. And then, yes, we did try 1, 2, 3, even almost 4 to break down this 108. But we are breaking out. That is good. So I think next week we're heading for 1350. Hoping that this does not change to a bear micro, but continue this bull micro to this particular area. And from there, we can break out and hit this particular area of 115.70. And if we can break out there, guys, we are in good condition. All right, that is for BDO. The next particular stock we're going to be discussing is Converge. Now for Converge, guys, yes, we are following this particular downtrend now. Why? First entry, second entry, really worked hard on this particular. We tried to go up, could not retest this particular area, breakdown. Now, of course, I was telling you guys the most important area here is 1701. And I think today or next week, I think we are heading there. Now again, why is 71 important? Because this was the last bear micro here in this area. So most likely these sellers would like to touch here. Two things. It's either they're gonna exit out, that makes it to a buyer and go back up, or they want to push it down to continue where they started, and they are gonna challenge this area to go back to around 15 pesos, around 15.20, 15.24. Okay. Now, of course, if they touch this area and became bull, that means that they're taking profit. And bulls, on the other hand, started this particular move, and now it's back here. Two things can happen. It's either they're gonna add to what they have in this particular area to go back up. So let's see what happens. Converge. But other than that, I think Converge is now going back to the downside. So the next particular stock after Converge is one of our favorite, DTO. Now DTO, again, we had a very, very long journey to the upside, right guys? And now we are very near to these two areas here. Now we must protect 1440 at all costs. Because if we touch that area and break down, then this has become a downtrend. All right. So let's take a look at DTO. So DTO here, guys, basically there's not much to discuss on DTO, but only one thing. We are still following this huge bear micro because we could not retest 1713 anytime soon, although we also did not retest 1438, so we are still stuck in here. So if this touches first, then this is a bear micro. If this touches here first, this has become a bull micro from a bear to a bull. All right, that is really it, guys. Then the next particular stock is one of our favorite, but very hard to trade, is FGEN. Remember, guys, we were here, right? We were discussing last week that this was a second entry. Yes, it did go up, but on the top of the range, it goes back down again, and now it is below the range, trying to go back up. Now, I found that this particular stock really likes to be on a range for a very long time before it breaks out. Take a look at this particular area here. It's around 2 to 3 months. Break out, tried to go down, and now we are stuck in this 2 to 3 months. And it could be April, it could break out or break down. That's really it. So FGEN really hard stock to trade. Now, the next particular stock is Hlcm. Now, Hlcm, guys, yes, we are following this particular downtrend, and we are currently still stuck on this particular range, but we have not reached 586, which is the good area here. So let's take a look at it. Hlcm. Now, Hlcm, guys, to be really honest with you, we are still following this bear micro, and actually since last week I left you guys around this particular area here on the 26th. We are still stuck in this particular range, so there's really not much to discuss. It looks to me like so we have to break out either 631 or 595. Whichever touches first makes sense. All right. So that is this particular stock. So basically we are still pushing down. Okay. Then the next particular stock is JFC. Now, of course, in JFC, on the other hand, since when I left you guys last Friday, we are pushing up. And we did have a continuation. And then, although today we tried to go down, but now we are above 187. Yes, it did reach that area. So where is the next area that it's target? Around 200 pesos. If this continues to change its course, right? Because we already broke down. We could not go back to 172 or even 168. We are now going back up. So my guess, the next particular target for JFC is around 200 pesos. Now let's take a look at it on the 5-minute and take a look at this. When I left you guys here, we were on 586. The next following day, it did kind of retrace, but could not retest 172. It break out. The next day, break out even higher until it reached on March 4. And now we are trying to be stuck on this particular bear micro. So next week, this is it. This particular area, it's either we go back to 183 or go above 190. That is it. Yeah. All right. So JFC, let's hope that you go choose 190. All right. So the next particular stock that we're gonna be discussing is MBT. Now, guys, I was thinking we were here, guys. We were gonna break out. Did not know that on Monday, yes, it did try, but the rest of the 4 days, it was a... We are back in this range. So basically, MBT is still on this particular range between 52 and 44. This particular area, we are still stuck. But if we really take a look at it at the 5-minute, we are areas of importance. We don't want to go back to 47.52. Our main goal is to go above 52. That is it, guys. But we are trying to go up, definitely. And why did it stop around 47.50? It's because this particular area was, let's take a look at it on the daily. This particular area has to be some importance, right? And I think I was discussing this a few weeks back, that this area MBT will most likely will find support around this particular area. Now let's see if they can go back here and go above 50 to go back to 52, right? So let's see what happens. The next particular stock is M. So on MM side, guys, we have breakdown. I thought that MM was going back to another all-time high, and of course, not so good. It break down. So basically, the way I'm gonna see it, guys, is that yes, MM may be on a downtrend, but it does not mean it's all gonna go down straight away. But maybe on a Monday it might go down a bit, but maybe this particular area it will find support to go back up. But still, it still could be more of a downtrend. So let's take a look at MM. Now MM, guys, we are still stuck in this particular bear micro, and we had a continuation on this bear micro. So for me, where is the next level of support for this particular stock? I would say the next level of support for this particular stock could be around 560, around 566, around that particular area. And it also makes sense because of the many touches around 560, 570, around this particular area. So for me, buyers could be waiting around this particular area. And if you take a look at here, this is the area what I'm talking about. I find that yes, this could go back around here, hoping that we can find buyers around this particular area. And that is for M. And of course, the next particular stock that we're going to be discussing is PGOLD. Now, PGOLD, guys, yes, I was happy that there was some continuation on the second entry to the long side. And we did reach around in the middle between this and this particular area. And I hope that we will have a continuation next week to the upside. That's what I would hope, because sometimes PGOLD will disappoint you more. First entry, second entry. So this particular area of 38.84 could be a good area to be a seller, but let's see if we can break out of that area. And that is it. We are on a bull micro, and this particular area is the area that we need to watch out. 38.92, this particular area. Let's see what happens. For me, I feel if they would continue this bull micro, yes, they could easily reach around 38.90, around this particular area. What happens after that, we don't know. That's my feeling there for PGOLD. So let's hope PGOLD can reach 38.90, and I hope it can break out. So the next particular stock that we're gonna be discussing is SECB. Alright guys, so basically let's take a look at SECB here. So SECB here, let's take a look at it. So SECB here, we did go up. We had a continuation to the upside on March 2, and now we're going back down. So again, SECB, we are still stuck on this range. So let's see what will happen next week if we can break out of this range, hoping that we cannot go back to 122. All right, and the next particular stock that we're gonna be discussing is tech. Now tech guys, we did have a good day, but we are still stuck. We just hit this particular range and we are going back down. So for me, I would say tech is still stuck in this particular area. And if we take a look at that, oops, sorry about that. So tech really guys, we are still stuck in this bear micro, although we did have a bull micro since of the last week, but we are in the middle of this particular area, right? All right, so we are stuck there at 50% area there. So that is it. So let's hope next week we don't find this continuation bear micro going back down. Instead of, we like it to go back up. All right, so basically that's it for this week guys. I hope that you guys will continue to follow my channel. Thank you very much guys, and take care, and see you guys on the next review.